Yeah, here I am. Hello, and welcome back to the grind here. It's me and the Porsche 924, 1979. So this week we did quite a bit of work on it. Hang on, I'll get you turned around here. Yeah, there you go. So the started out, I was wondering what to do, and so I did some work on the back window, getting it apart, and I did get the rest of the lights working properly. Yay! Then I got the back window stuff taken apart. Then I decided, well, I'll take a look at this front cowling down here, and it was all just being only held on by maybe two nuts and bolts. And so I took that all off, straightened it out, and then cleaned it up and gave it a little bit of fresh paint on it. Fixed up some stuff to it. The paint's not the same color you can see here, but that'll be, I just put it on, I put that paint on just to keep it covered, so it won't be rusting on me. Then what else did I do? I did, I don't even remember. Lots of stuff, lots of little jobs. And one of them was, getting this back window here adjusted finally. Then, and then I worked on, in the interior here, I worked on the horn. Hey, and look, there's a door card on the other side of the other door over there. That's another thing. Boy, oh boy, it was busy. And then after that, then I adjusted that driver door so it doesn't jam anymore. It works well and fits well. So anyway, there you go. Stick around, you'll see it all, and hope you enjoy it. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Yeah, hi. Here I am back again, another week. Coming up on what exciting stuff will happen this week. Well, one of the exciting things is I've got these little tiny light bulbs for the back, for the, whatever you call that thing, the license plate marker. And I'll fix the brake light, which I left hanging in suspense last week. Want to fix the exhaust pipe so it's not knocking on the car, and a couple other little things, fixie things like that. Then I'll start it up and see if we can get it timed right. Then we'll go from there. Okay. There you go. Excitement number one, looked after. So all the lights are working except for the brake light. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one. And I think there's a switch thing on the reverse light that's not set right. Yeah, so all of these wires here needed a new connector on them. They were just, well, here's a perfect example, just falling apart, right? From years and years and years and years, 40 years old, they fall apart. So I guess I should do the same on the other side there too. And that should be good for a while. The brake light works now. I'll show you in a few minutes. Whoops, there you go. On that side I've got it all put new connections on everywhere. And this thing here, it just, like, there's the backing plate, and it just, this thing here just sort of clips into it like that, and then it goes into right there. Okay. Yeah, here we'll do the flash on the wall business. See if you can see anything. Left side on the right is a lot brighter. I don't know what's going on there. Wait a minute. Al, here now. Tell me if it's working. Oops. I guess that's about right. See if the brake light comes on. Let me know. There, I'll just review that bit and see. Yeah, I guess you guys saw it first. So yep, it does work. All lights seem to be working now. So I'll just let that be. And now I'll lift it up and see what I can do about the exhaust pipe. Yeah, there's all the old things. Like this one, you can see they're all ready to come apart. A couple of them were okay, but most of them were loose and not holding anything anymore, so that's the way it is. Good. Yeah, so exhaust pipe fix, right? Wait a sec till I get some light here. Gee. Oh dear me, can't get the light. There it is. Okay, now, first off, where am I? Back here. This thing here, lights caught on stuff. Can't win around here. Okay. Try again here. So this thing here was knocking up against here, right? And you can even see where it was knocking before. Well, all I did was bend it down, and that's solved that problem. I don't think it'll knock anymore. We'll just see what happens. This muffler here might be towards the end of its life, but that's okay. I can replace that along the way. That's kind of a ugly joint there, but I guess it's on. So now up here, the shielding right here, that can you see this? I'm pointing the right way. Yeah, this bracket here was gone, so I just built a little tiny bracket, same as the other side. This side here is still on there, but they had it wired on instead of a screw holding it, so I put a screw in there, and then I just put this little bracket on there, and that should be adequate to hold it. See how it goes. That's out that much, and that's out. See, that's out a 1/4 inch there, right? Or, and this one here is just about, beyond a 1/4 inch. So this has been pushed. How do I make that right? That's likely why it's not easy to line up. We'll think about that. That'll take some thinking. Maybe it's just the way it is. Maybe it's how it is. Okay, so now that's done. A couple of little chores there that had to be done before too long. Now I could take this off here and straighten it out, and that might be a something to do too, eh? Right, because it's all sorts of little buckles and bends, and this is like, it wouldn't take much to straighten that out. A little bit of hammer and dolly work, and that'd be all right. I'll see about pulling this off, and then see about getting this back to being everything in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, there I bashed and smashed this thing until it's mostly the shape that it wants to be on there. That side's got a little bit more curve to it than this side, but this was flattened right out before, so it's not bad now. The needs a little bit of welding on it, and then I think it's serviceable. Might take a little bit of body work will help it out. Anyhow, but if you want to see good metal work, go and watch Carter's Auto Restyling, and he does really, really good metal work. He knows what he's doing. I certainly don't. Yeah, it looks like there's damage right here. It got bumped up, right? Hit a snowbank or something. Who knows? Toronto car. So, and this is all bent out of shape. So I'll take the bumper off. Now these plugs come off pretty easy. A little bit too easy if you ask me. So I'll clean that stuff up and see if I can make that a bit better. Not sure what I'll do yet, but I'll certainly try and make it better. Anyway, there you go. Yeah, the bumper comes off pretty easy, I think. So you just unhook these wires at both sides onto the signal light stuff. And a 3/4 inch, 3/4 or a 19 bolt here and a 19 bolt there, and they just unscrew easy, and I'll just see what happens here. Yeah, that's pretty simple. The bumper just comes right off when you pull those bolts out. And there it is. It's a simplicity in motion right there. Oops, moving a bit too fast, wasn't I? There you go. So now I'll pull this water thing out. So to get the water thing out, there's one bolt through the top here that holds the fender and the water thing. And then the headlight needs to be in the upright position. So you just pull this relay out of here, and then you can turn it by hand here. Am I pointing the right way? Yeah, there. Turn it by hand there on that little knobby thing, and that'll bring it to the upright position. Now I'll put it back up and see if I can get that jug out of there, because I want to get this bracket off of there and straighten that out properly, because it's all bent. And then I'll see about bring the welder around and fixing up some of this stuff here, see if I can straighten it out a bit, and then I'll weld up that crack there. Okay. Yeah, looks like you can carry a lifetime of worth of wiper washer fluid in that sucker, eh? Must hold 2 gallons. I wonder if the hoses, how far the hoses go down. I'll check it out. Anyway, that's out of there. Now I can get this bracket off of here. It's just 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and hopefully I can get it off there. 3 bolts, and then I'll straighten it out and take a look around to see if there's any more. Like that's a little bit ragged right there, and a bit of rust. Oh dear, rust. What's it doing with rust on this car? There's not supposed to be any rust in this car. That's the first bit of rust I've found. You know, there's surface rust here, but nothing serious. This is bent. Don't know how I'm going to straighten that out. Don't know if that's possible to straighten it out. I'll just give it a few taps with a hammer and see what happens. Oh well, okay. Yeah, now here's this bracket. It was up on here, and oops, sorry, it was up on here, and it was pulled and poked because those holes are a little bit pulled through. So now I'll see if I can get this number 1 straightened out, and then I'll see how it's supposed to be on there to hold, like it's a hanger for this stuff here. And I've got that pretty well back to factory form there, I think. Looks the same as this side, so we're pretty close. So I'll be happy with that. Needs a little bit of a little bit of body work. Bondo there will be all right. And then this needs to be cleaned up and then put some metal to metal on there, just to make that strong again, because it's only pitted there. Then this. Okay, but first off, this I'll fix. Yeah, there, that's pretty well straight again. Now I straightened it out just on the anvil over here. A little bit of work on the vise and a little bit of work on the anvil, and it comes out pretty straight. A little bit of pounding on it, and that works. Now I'll put it back in, and then I'll see if I can get this to line up properly, because it's never, like you can tell right here, it was wrong from way back, and up in there it's not. That just doesn't sound right, does it? Hey, we'll just see what happens there. Okay. Yeah, there, that's on there solid now. Now this bolt here has to come out. I'll take this bolt out also and put a better one in there. But that's doesn't shake around anymore, and it's solid up here. Should be, I don't know what to do about that. Maybe just a bit of body filler to cover across that, I think. Don't know what was going on there. Somebody tried to make it work, right? This thing here has been bent, and there's a couple of wires right there, just waiting around to get shorted on something. I think that's for, I think there was some fog lights on it at one time, because there's a set here and there's a set here. So don't know what they go to. I don't know where this, well, there's a fog light switch inside the car. Maybe I'll chase them down and see if I can, maybe we can have fog lights here one of these days, right? Anyhow, not right now, because I don't know. And then these things here, they look like they're just like a plug from, you know, a headlight plug. So maybe I'll get a couple of headlight plugs and put them on here for new connectors. Okay, see how that works out. Anyway, this has to be straightened out. It's all bent up. This has to be, I don't know what to do about that. It's fairly bent up, but I think it's in sort of the right spot, so I hate to do a bunch of dicking with it, but I'll straighten out this stuff down here if I can. I'll straighten it out some anyhow. Okay, yeah, so I sort of straightened that a little bit here, but it's supposed to look like this, so I don't want to, and I've straightened it kind of more than what it should be. So I'll just weld that up and leave this. That can be left alone. That was just hit something and pounded it up, right? I don't know what got underneath there and pounded it up, but road hazard, I imagine. Then there was a nut or a bolt missing out of here. Don't know why, but put one in. Now I've put the water tank back in there before I forget, and at the top it wasn't hooked on correctly, of course, and in fact it was held on by a wire here, and a bolt that didn't fit there, and at the top it was just like hanging around, so it was pretty rattly, but now it's solid in there the way it should be. So maybe some of the rattles will go away if I start putting stuff together properly, right? So we'll see about that. I'll just straighten this out a bit before I go any further. Oh yeah, that's holding on. That's another one of those things that's broken. Oh dear. That holds on the fan. Okay, I'll fix that. Yeah, this plastic thing gets broken, and well, this got hit and bent up. So I just put I cut a piece of metal just to fit on there and fit up into that groove so it'll hold it. It's snug down, and on the top I got the same thing holding at the top, so that's just a pressure fit for the whole thing, but it does keep that. That's the case for holding the fan up, right? So don't want to lose the fan, do you? No. Anyway, I think that's it for today. About time to quit and go have some supper, I think. Yeah, 10 to 6 already. I was going to quit at 5, and then I figured I better just fix that little thing. Anyhow, there we go. That's done for the day, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, oops, there I am. Okay, back at it. I got a little bit ahead of you here. I forgot about the camera. Anyhow, I got that hole or that crack closed up, and then I put a weld on there, and not too worried about the way it is as long as it's strong. Then I just put a bit of rust paint over the top of it, so that's good. Then I've cleaned up this thing, and I did a weld. There's a weld right there, a weld right there, you know, welding there, then grinded it off, like a little bit more grinding here, I think. Then I sort of cleaned the old paint off, most of it. I'm going to put it back on the car and then see how it fits and see if I have to do any more pounding on it. And then we'll go from there, okay? Yeah, there, it fits. Not perfect, but it fits pretty well. That side's a bit low and the other side's a bit high. Oh, I can loosen that off and make that right. So I'll do that. This thing here, I should put another bolt, like I just put a self-tapper in right there to hold this from coming down. And this side here, I should do the same thing. That'll bring it up level, eh? I'll see what I can do about that. And then it's good and solid on there anyhow. So I'm happy with that. This side here should go down a bit, and that side there should go up a bit. So I'll do that. Yeah, that's even there now. And this thing here even looks okay. That's okay. That's solid there. That's solid. And then this one here is just a tiny bit off. You can just sort of cut your finger on the way across, but at the bottom it's okay. So I think we're happy with that. It's not like not a concourse finish, but I'll do a little bit of body putty in there, in those couple of dents there that I couldn't get any better, and then the rest of it's pretty good. Solid anyhow. Like before it was just shaking and rattling in there, so now it's in there properly. Here's the horns, 1 and 2. I'm going to test and see if they actually work. They come from on the driver's side here, just right in there. You can see the wires down there for them, like that's the wiring for them right there. Anyway, I'll just set you up right here. Let's see if they work. Over this way a bit, right? Right around there. Sure. Okay, so here's my negative side. I can get it on here somewhere. And here's my positive side. So the positive is the that one here. Okay, here we go. Ready? Guess that works. So positive is this one here. Jumps around a bit. Not as good as the other one, eh? Oh, I guess that'll work. Okay. Whoa, boy, that's the positive side. I had it on backwards, you dummy. No, I had it on right. Okay. Anyway, I'm pretty good with wiring, eh? There, get that off of there so before it burns the place down. Okay, horns work. So that means that if I press the button in the car and they don't work, it's the wiring in between. So I'll be able to chase that down. So I'll just put them back on and put the wires back on and clean them up a bit. Yeah, there. I went and put the horns back in there and then turned on the key, pressed on the horn button. Nothing happened. So I'll have to do some investigating on that, I guess. There you go. Yeah, well, there you go. I put the bumper back on. Haven't hooked up the wiring for the whatever you call those lights there, the signal lights yet. Sam's on his way. He's gonna pick up some pigtails for headlights, and that might just help out here. Anyway, that's pretty good. What else? Now, what's on the list next? Yeah, even underneath the hood light works. That's amazing. But took a little bit to get that going. It just didn't want to just run right away. So I checked the power, and the power was right to here. So it comes on with the lights. I don't think it ever goes out when the headlights are on. I think it's on, like that's off there now, right? Turn on parking lights and you get underneath their light. No switch on it anywhere. Cool. Anyway, now that was just a little, I saw it, so I went and did it. Okay, hang on a second. Yeah, that's enough for today. It's 4:15 and I think I'll take a day off. Take the rest of the day off, Lauren. Okay, I'll do that. We'll likely see you again tomorrow on it. Yeah, back here again at the, where is it? Oh, way up there. At the Porsche. So I got a little bit ahead of you. Well, I looked around a bit and I decided I'd just put a skim coat of that Ever coat on here just to cover this metal up, number one, that I had worked on in the welding, and get the cracks, any cracks left in the welding done, fixed with that, or pinholes, you know, it fills in pinholes. Then I'll let that dry, and then I'll just put a coat of this stuff here on it so it doesn't rust when it's hanging around. One day down the road I'll paint this, but for right now that's as much as it'll get, and a coat of paint on it to protect it. Then next is to I want to fix the door card in there, so I'll do that. Yeah, mostly it's all right, this door card, except for here where they've, you know, the duct tape way to do things, which maybe is the right way to do things, we'll see. And this holds on the, they've got this holding on the door handle out there. And I'll pull this all off and then see what I can come up with here. Not sure how I'll fix this yet, but maybe some fiberglass would do it, hey? I think some fiberglass would do it. And down here, this is pretty soft, so I'll see if I can just fix this panel right in here somehow or other. And that might also be a fiberglass job. We'll see. Yeah, can you see in there? That was the original stuff right there with the foam backing on it. It was lovely plaid. Now that had to be pretty damn ugly in the original state. But this vinyl here is new-ish. And a couple of cracks in it up here. But that's, I'll fix behind there first. Then we'll figure out how to get the rest of it stuck together here. So I cut a little piece of this like board stuff, you know, that kind of board to fit into, this is where the speaker hole formerly was, which I have a speaker cover which I'll put over there, blah blah blah. Anyhow, to make that solid, I'm going to put some fiberglass down on here, and then we'll press it in together and see what happens. Yeah, so here's this is all working at getting dried. Now I've got this clamped down, and then don't you know that's squeezed out some juice there, and that's gonna fiberglass this wood to there, so I better loosen that off and then put more plastic down and reclamp it. Hey, better do that. Yeah, there, that's all clamped down. Now this I'll just leave it be until tomorrow, and that should be, well, we'll see what it looks like. See if I've made a mess, because some of that stuff might drip through onto the vinyl on the other side. Then it'd be a mess there, but that's all right. Well, whatever I screw up, I'll fix up. We'll see what happens. Yeah, there I just put one coat of red on there, so I'll just, it's direct to metal stuff, so rust paint. This here, trim clad Royal Rouge Regal Red. So that's actually not a bad looking color either. So anyhow, I'll just give it 20 minutes, I'll flash another coat on there. Yeah, there I splashed another coat on there. Looks really good in here. The top part where I didn't pay much attention to what was there before, and I really coulda shoulda, but doesn't matter for here because it gets all beat up anyhow. Anyhow, looks pretty good, and I'll let it be. Well, there now, all my fiberglassing worked. I didn't even make too much of a mess. It was stuck on here, the wood, but that's all right. That was perfectly okay. This has got a, I'll have to put some glue on that to hold that back into place, but that's all right too. This is reinforced in around here, and on the back side it looks like this. So I think that's going to be strong enough to hold it all together there, and this will be strong enough to hold this together now. So that's cool. Now this part here, see, this is still wobbly, so I might just see if I can undo that, and then I'll put a piece of, just a strip of fiberglass right along here to solid it up a bit, and that might make everything happy. Another couple of spots where it's a little bit, mostly it's pretty solid. So okay, that'll be a tomorrow job, because today is pretty well done with it. So in the meantime, I was working on the horn. This is the relay from the car, and it was no good, but that didn't, when I put another relay in, it didn't solve the problem. So I have determined that there is electricity getting to the relay, and everything's underneath here, so I'm going to see if I can, and there's no electricity getting to this pin right here, which is where, you know, the horn button attaches to. So I'll go underneath there and I'll see if I can find, like, I'll undo the well, I'll show you. It's a pain to get underneath here. I'm just too old for this shit. Right? Okay, here we go. At least if it's a windshield with a, so here's the fuse box here, right? This orange one here that orange one right there, that's the relay for the horn. Now it's got a brown and blue stripe wire that goes in there. I found it up here, and it's a wire that goes right to here. Now I'm going to just see if I can find the other end of it and see if there's continuity from here to there, and if not, then that's part of the problem, right? We'll figure it out. Oh well, I give up today, so I'll have another go at that tomorrow, see if I can get anywhere with it, because it's time to be quitting today. It's dark out. But this thing here, this is a success, I think. That's be hardened up by tomorrow and be good. And I'll put this door back together. That'll look good. That'll look better than what's there now. Yeah, here I'm back at it now. This bit here, that's all solid like a rock. Maybe too much of a rock, eh? Have a look at this side and see how it looks. So I've got a little bit of a curl on it right there where it hardened the fiberglass hardened into the fabric there. So I'll cut that out of there. This will cover it anyhow because it didn't get affected. Then over the top of this, I'm just going to put that speaker cover on there back where it was, right here. And there's one on the other side, and that covers it up. There's not going to be a speaker there because nowadays, like, you don't need speakers. I've got a Bluetooth speaker, and I'll just with my radio, with my phone, that's all you ever need. You don't need that antenna or anything. You just don't need it. Things have changed. And then I'll see if I can just fill this in, and that has to be, whoops, where am I pointing? See if I can just fill this in and fix it up a bit, because the armrest goes on here. I'll see how that all works out. Not sure how it attaches over there. I don't think it hits on there. I think it just goes up to here somewhere. Not sure. But I'll put I have some double-sided tape I'll put on this and get that closed in properly. And see if I can get that door card back on there. Now it still has to be one of these days. Hey, one of these days things. One of these days I'll do fix up all the windows and stuff, because the seals around the windows need to be changed, things like that. But that's not on this particular build here, not yet anyhow. One of these days it'll get done. Yeah, so anyhow, I bought this staple gun when I was doing the Volkswagen van camper roof. Handy item, and it does a really nice job of restapling all this stuff. Even gets, it's a little bit tough to get through that fiberglass, but it gets through most of it. The only one staple went right through. I better look at the other side and see how it looks, eh? Well, that looks okay. That'll be fine. Now there's a couple of spots up here that the original guys just used, I think, a house stapler to do it with, like a boss stitch stapler. Looks like they got a staple in there. Anyway, I'll see what I can do about getting it back together here. First I'll just put this speaker on, then I'll get these bits on and see where I go from there. Okay, there, I made a sewing club is out again. I made a little patch. Just going to stick it right on there, and that will cover up this bit of a burr here. In fact, I might just cut that bit of a burr out of there, and then I'll contact cement this on here. So give me a minute. Yeah, so I've got contact cement on that, and I've got contact cement on my little patch piece here. So I'll let it set for 20 minutes, then I'll glue them together, I hope, and see how it goes, and then mount this part on, and it should be all right. Well, famous last words, right? I did mount this. This is the controller for the automatic mirrors, electric mirrors. I think I've got the wiring for that somewhere. Hope so. Now, while I was waiting for that stuff to dry, I was thinking about this last evening, and there's a connector at the back of that that's likely not making it. Or I found this relay here, which might be the proper horn relay for it, because it's got an extra connector right there, which I see in the top there. So I'll put this in, see if that makes a difference, and then if that makes a difference, then I'll be a happy guy, because it says here, what's that say? Oh, 3130. Don't know. Find out. Yeah, so this thing here, there's the wiring for the electronic mirrors, and here's the plug that goes into it, right? Into the into over there on the door part. So I'll see if I can get these wired back together. Someone, wasn't me, the previous person who was trying to break this stuff, that wiring here has to go on that side of it over there somehow, but I'll get these connected together. Then this plug here has to come around on the outside so it doesn't get involved with the window. And then the rest of the stuff stays on the inside so it doesn't get involved with the window. Okay, I'll see what I can come up with. I'll show you when I get it somewhere done. Yeah, there. I just put butt connectors on these things because I was thinking of soldering them together, but I'd never be able to hold them up there in place and everything like that. And then this thing here's got to be kind of over in there. That'll keep it, take the pressure off it. So I'll tape this up and then get that into place over here. Like it comes around, this wire here has to come through right here so it doesn't get hit by the window, right? Okay. Yeah, there we go. That's in. Now this thing here, I don't know, can you see anything here? No. All black on black. So that's the controller for the automatic mirrors, electric mirrors. It's seen better days, that controller. Tough to get that to go where I wanted to go there, but it's in. And this is cool. Watch this. Now that thing, it triggers, and there's the switch here I talked about a long time ago to switch sides, right? So cool, it all works, which is amazing. But I think that the buttons, maybe I got it on backwards or something. The buttons are turning the different way than the buttons that say point forward, and I don't know what they mean anyhow, because it's all sort of upside down for your thumb. Then this looks all right here. The window goes up and down. I'll have to get this stuff here put on. The door works. And this has to be screwed in here tighter. It gets in there, but oh, there's a thing here. Maybe that'll help. I'll see if I can get that to grab on there. Yeah, it's difficult to get them to stay. Same with the one just here. Okay. I think that one's on. No. Anyway, I'll work on that. The only thing I'm missing is this bit here, which has seen, I've got the part, but it's seen much better days. So I'm going to see if I can get a replacement for it and slide it in there. That would be the only thing left over. Yeah, back door cards. Back to looking okay. Now up here, a little bit crinkly here. That's just how it is. So I'll live with that. And the mirror stuff works. So the only thing I can't get working is a horn. So I'll get back on that. I've got to trace back, so this wire here goes from there is good. And then I can trigger the whatever you call it, the horn relay, but then nothing happens. So must be up towards that end of it somehow or other. Maybe it's just a stupid thing like a ground, eh? Yeah, so here I am, still at the horn. Now, a couple of things that I do know for sure now. This from here, can you see anything here? It's so hard to get into the light in here. From this, yeah, and I can't see because I shadow myself, right? From that to there, to that, those two connections there, that'll make the horn ring. I'll just show you. Got to turn the key on, and then that gets power to this one here, and yep, horn rings. Okay, so then this one here, are you seeing any of this? Yeah, this wire that goes in right there, that's the trigger, and it's like there's continuity from the horn there, and this wire here is the hot side, so that and that come together, makes power go from there to there. And I've got a relay that looks like this orange one that actually works and does that, but somehow it just doesn't make it happen. So I'm thinking that there's just a bad connection across one of those wires in there. So I'm going to make some little wires to go from here to a relay, to the relay, and then I'll hit it that way and then see what happens. Okay, anyway, but that's for tomorrow, and at least the horn works. Yes, yay. And I'll get through with this issue eventually. But hey, the door looks pretty good, eh? Except for that bit. Oh well. Actually, the door looks really good, and it sits on there nicely. I found some nice screws here for the end, nice big heads on them. And all those little pluggy things, those little black pluggy things, they all went in except for maybe one here and maybe one here. But I haven't given this one a whack yet, so I'll give that a try. Okay. Yeah, there. I got all those pluggy things in there, and they're tight. They won't come out. Yay. So that's good. Okay. Doors everywhere. Now I need to get this back together so I can get headlights, or get the rest of it on there. Anyway, that's enough for today. I'll see you tomorrow, and eventually I'll have a horn that works. Yep. Yeah. So, whoops. Come on. There we go. It's recording now. Here I am, back again. Wednesday already. Boy, the week goes by fast. Another 2 days, it'll be time to put a movie out. And I really haven't done that much except for little piddly things. Maybe there's some excitement coming because some parts came for brakes and some parts came for the heat thing. This is for the heat. What do you call that? That thing, whatever this is called. WUR, warm up regulator, which is really a misnomer. I'm likely repeating myself. It's not a warm up regulator. It's a fuel pressure regulator, because this is a constant. When it's cold, it opens up a little bit more, lets more fuel go through, lets more pressure go through, less pressure. And anyhow, that will go into this underneath here on the fuel distributor. There's a plunger in here, and that fuel pressure that comes from there holds down on the plunger. And that, some of these cars have a spring on top of the plunger, but this one here doesn't. It just has pressure only, and it holds down on the pressure, so it holds down on the plunger so that, to keep the fuel at a constant amount. Anyhow, that when it warms up, then the pressure increases on that, so that it's a hot running motor. When it's cold, it needs a richer mixture. When it's hot, it needs a leaner mixture. So that's what goes on there. Anyway. So that's really a fuel pressure regulator. It's not a warm-up regulator. It's a fuel pressure regulator. There is also a warm-up, a cold start injector right here. It goes into here, and that gets extra air when it's going through there from the warm-up air thing, which is underneath there. Anyway, but that's it's quite a complicated system, but all mechanical, no electronics on it except for the heat to it that warms up the little bar in there. Anyway, here today, I might get the horn working. Look at that, isn't that pretty? That's just like a little flower there. So this is a relay switch, 4-pin relay switch. That one there, this red one, has got power on it all the time. Yes. This one here is the negative that goes to the, let me see. It goes to the horn. So you can actually trigger this relay when the key is off. It'll trigger the relay because that's got constant power to it. This one here gets power when the key is turned on, and this one here goes to the horn, methinks. So that's and it tells you on the side here what's going on. I don't know, you can't read that, but it says 86 and 85 take power and close, and 30 and 87 are switched on. So 86 and 85 get power to those two, and that makes this switch close so that power goes from here to here. Anyway, I'll stick them on and see if the horn works. See what happens. Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear this happening. Like, listen closely. You hear that clicking? So that's the relay. Relay works. Now, I'll turn on the key, and that should make power to that white wire there. And then the horn should work. Yes, it does. So, how come when I plug it in, this thing in there, it doesn't work? Because there's a bad connection right there. I'll see if I can fix that. Okay, that solves the horn problem. Well, it doesn't completely solve it because it's got kind of a flower there. But I'll see what I can do about making that contact work properly. Yeah, so I worked and worked at it, and I couldn't get anything to seat in there properly. So I put this wire, a little bit of a harness on here, and ran it to the relay right there. Then it's a 5-pin relay, but you only need 4 pins for that. And then I just tie wrapped it up in here and put this all back together. And now let's see what happens. What happens? Keys on, right? That works. So now I'll put the steering wheel on to see if that'll work. Okay, now it's all back together, right? Turn the key on. Boy, does that ever work. Hey, that's a horn. Okay, that's boy, that was a little bit of a journey. Now, what the problem was is there was, number one, there was a wire unhooked on the top of the relay, and number two, there was a bad connection inside the connector on the fuse box. So what I did was I just put I made myself a little harness and I ran it around, and it seems to connect okay now. So I'll let that be. That's how it'll be, because otherwise you got to change the whole fuse box out, and I'm not about to be doing that. Thank you. Yeah, these little things here came in the mail, and that's the back hatch latch. Back hatch latch. Say that 100 times fast and see what happens. So they just go in there, and then you can adjust the holder for the back hatch. Hopefully that's going to help things. Now this is the I think I've got new ones of these coming, but I'm not sure. You never know what shows up around here. 1, 2. So I'll just put these back on, and the screws that get in here and here and here and here, they'll I'll put some anti-seize on them so I don't run into the same problem again, and then I'll put some anti-seize on these when I fit them forever and ever. Yeah, so I put these things back on here. I don't know if you can see these or not. Yeah, like then This one here, I just lucked out. It was perfectly adjusted right away. This side over here, I worked on getting that bottom piece set in there properly for a long time. And now this has to go on here and I have to readjust it again. Oh no. Hopefully I don't lose my spot. Oh well, I'll do that. Yeah, there I put the cover back on. I put a couple of little white marks here where they're supposed to line up and remembered, and it seemed to work out all right. I'll just show you. So, windows coming down, we think? Yeah, windows coming down. Yep, there, it works. Hey. That's good. I'm happy with that for now. We'll just see how it works out on the road, because when I was driving it before, it would just flip open on me. So we'll see how that goes. But it also needs a new whatever you call this thing, weather guard. Yeah. So all of a sudden the day is done, and I've only accomplished a couple of little things, but the little things that take time. So this thing here, the door was jamming wrong, and so what I did was, behind here there was room for a spacer, and I had some spacers in there, so I built one just a little bit wider than what was in there. And then this bottom hinge had I had to pull out not as far as I could, but pull out a ways. This thing here had about a spacer behind here. That was a last year thing. I think that was from it got pushed and bashed. Anyhow, but that works. That gap is nice. It's the same as the other side, a little bit wide here. This right here, it just doesn't tick right onto that. But this line here is okay. That gap is a little bit narrow, but I think I have to move the whole fender just a bit ahead to make that gap right, because I don't think I can move the door anymore. And then on this side here, this gap here is a nice 1/8 inch all the way, right? And this gap here is about the same as the other side. That gap's, yeah, the gap at the back of the door is just a little bit wider than the gap at the front of the door. And there's no way I can move that back any farther, because I've got that the hinges. That door fell off. It was falling off when I got in the car, and so I repaired the hinges as best I could, which was actually pretty good. Like, this hinge here was gone. It fell out of there, and then that one there was all bent up. So I put it back as close as I could to real, and I guess it should have been just like another titch back this way. A little bit more room back this way. But this one here, I have to put a spacer in there. That one there, there's no room for a spacer. So that one there is back as far as it'll go, so I can't pull the door any farther this way and keep the right angle. So anyhow, that's going to be okay. I'm happy with it. That'll be like, as long like it opens and closes nice now. It was jammed before, and it wouldn't open and close nice. So now I'm happy with that. There. So now next on the list for tomorrow is I'll get into, so the back window is working, yay. And then tomorrow I'll get into I've got some brake parts showed up. This is rebuild kits for the calipers. And somewhere on this planet, I think over in here, there's some brake hoses. I hope they're in here. I'll look through here and find out what there is. Maybe they're in this box here. Yeah. One hose. Should be another box like this. Another box like this in here, I hope. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah. There's my collection of fuel pumps. One of them's from the Volkswagen van, and two of them are from this car, I think. One came on it originally, replaced with one that still didn't work, and then I got another one from, I don't even remember where, but it worked. So I've got brake hoses for the front, brake caliper kits for the front. Then I also have, this came from all the way from Germany by Priority Luftpost. Hey, cool. Anyhow, came from Germany, and that's the rebuild kit for this thing here, which I did put a rebuild kit in there once, but I think I bought it from somewhere, and I don't remember where. I bought it from somewhere in England, and it just, I don't think the product is as good as the stuff that comes from missingparts.de. So these guys here at, let me see here. Yeah, Ruben Simark, Missing Parts DE. And that they actually, like, I've been communicating with them, and they're very good to communicate with. They sent me everything I need to know, and they're just real good guys. So anyhow, I can't say anything better about them. See you tomorrow, maybe. Also in the collection that came in the mail was these brake pads. I hope they're the right ones. I've got a set of the wrong ones already. So these are supposed to be for four stud wheels, and the other ones, I think they were 5-stud wheel ones, but don't know. Yeah, so I think I'll end this video here. I was in the house doing a bunch of editing on it, and then I figured Buster and I would come out and put an end to it. There I am. So anyhow, this week I didn't think I did that much, but all of a sudden there is lots there, and so we'll carry on next week with what I planned for and see how things go from there. But hopefully you enjoy it all, and remember to like and subscribe and all that, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Yeah, so we had the first real snowfall, maybe 12 centimeters. What's that, 5 inches, something like that. But it's sort of a sticky stuff, and it's sticking to all the trees, and it looks kind of pretty. Anyhow, Buster and I are heading to the beach. I'll show you when we get down there how it is. But it's all very pretty around here. No snowshoes out yet, not deep enough for that. Yeah, so made it down to the beach. The snow's not deep at all in the woods. It was more sheltered in there, I think. But it's a pretty day now with the sun starting to come out. And just a skiff of slush along the edge of the pond there. Nothing big yet. Hasn't been very cold, just below freezing. And Buster's on the endless hunt for a muskrat, but don't think he'll find one today. And tide's coming in, I think. It's either coming in or going out, one of the two. Must be going out. There you go. Another day at Holland Cove.